Each saved search that we create, right, has its own page title, has its own unique URL, has its own title tags, and each listing within that page, every time the MLS updates, so does that page itself.
What's up, everybody? This is Nick with Agent Elite. I'm the marketing and media director here. Today I have with us Nick Reese, our COO and co-founder, and today we're going to be talking about saved searches and SEO. So, Nick, every real estate agent needs a steady flow of new clients to grow their business, right?
Right.
So, although prospective home buyers are always out there, attracting them to your business is sometimes pretty challenging. Can we maybe talk a little bit more about this?
Yeah, here's the deal. I mean, real estate is a competitive industry, and you can be sure that, other agents in your area are also going to be using search engine optimization or SEO to reach your potential buyers and sellers, right? Yeah. And so what this means, Nick, is that in order to succeed, you have to create a unique strategy and make your business stand out. And the best way to do this is by identifying and creating content around what we call in the industry long-tail key phrases. And they have to be related to real estate and what, buyers and sellers are typing in, right? And so the question is, what are long-tail key phrases, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And, and simply put, long-tail key phrases is really how you outrank the competition. And, before we discuss these long-tail, keywords and what they are, it's really important for agents to understand really what keywords are in general. And essentially, these are keywords and phrases that buyers or sellers would be typing into the search engines when they're looking for information online. And when you include these keywords on your website, what you're doing is you're ultimately improving the chances that your page will show up within the search engines or within Google and in regards to the results, right?
Gotcha. Yeah.
Now, these long-tail keywords or key phrases, right? They are keywords with two or three words, so to speak. Now, they're much more specific, and they typically demonstrate a much clearer search intent. So long-tail key phrases are how people are searching online. The entire point, Nick, of Google and the search business, right, is to present these users with right information based on what they're searching.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now, let me put it this way. I mean, if I'm searching for, let's say, gated communities with waterfront properties in San Diego, California, it's because I'm specifically, or I should say, it's because I'm specifically searching for properties in gated communities, but I also want it to be waterfront. I mean, Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, that totally makes sense. So, I mean, why would long-tail keywords matter for real estate agents?
Well, I mean, there's a few reasons why they're particularly valuable within the real estate industry. I mean, one, it's going to create more qualified traffic, which is really important to us, right?
Yeah.
So, searchers using these short general keywords oftentimes could be looking for, all kinds of information. For example, a user who searches for, let's say, a real estate agent could be, looking for a local realtor to help them buy a home. But they could also be looking for information on, how to become a real estate agent or, real estate jobs or just general information in the industry period, right?
Yeah.
And many of these searchers won't be interested in your services. So targeting short, broad keywords just isn't worth your time.
Yeah.
But also, if you think about it this way, let's say if you live in San Diego, you're going to be doing searches online for San Diego homes for sale, right?
I mean, maybe something a little more specific, though. I mean,
Yeah.
you could be searching directly that city within San Diego.
Yeah, and that's my point exactly, right? Is we would be looking for something more specific. San Diego's pretty big, right? Now, when I was living outside the state and I was looking for a home in San Diego, then yes, I was typing in San Diego because I didn't really know the demographic, right, in the area that well. And San Diego is such a huge area. I mean, you can be all the way down to the border, and you can be all the way up into the La Jolla, which is 3, 4, 5, 10, $15 million homes, right? Yeah. So we'd be looking for something more specific, like Pacific Beach homes for sale. Homes for sale in Pacific Beach with pools, or pool homes for sale in Pacific Beach, right?
Yeah.
Now, we also have to understand that these short phrases, right, they're also dominated by the big guys. Trulia, Zillow, right?
Realtor.com.
Realtor.com, Keller Williams, Remax, Century 21. And they spend a lot of money, a lot of time, and they have a lot of content on their site. So it's just, it's damn near impossible to get placement for those phrases anymore. And long-tail key phrases, on the other hand, give us a much clearer picture of, what searchers are doing, like what our buyers and sellers are doing. And as a result, our buyers and sellers who find your site with these long-tail key phrases are much more likely to turn into potential clients. These visitors are considered qualified traffic, unlike visitors who have no intention of utilizing, let's say, your website or your services.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
So what I want to do is let's go into number 2, which is less competition, right? Now, first off, most real estate website providers, website companies don't allow agents to create these safe searches. And they have, there are workarounds, right? But what you're looking at is each safe search that you create using these long tail key phrases should be indexed and optimized. And the page title should say something on the lines of, let's say, homes for sale in Temecula Unified School District. And in your URL, it should also be very clean and very direct. It needs to reflect what the page title is.
Yeah.
Okay. So it should say something on the line of, nicksaleshomes.com / homes for sale in Temecula Unified School District. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay. So keep it very specific.
Yeah, so in addition to that, then we also want to make sure that the title tags at the very top of our site are also changing to reflect not only what the page title is, but also that distinct, clean, focused URL. Does that make sense, Nick?
Gotcha. Yeah. I think that definitely cleans it up a little.
So that being said, what I like to say, Agent Elite, right? We're and our websites and the IDX and everything that we do here, okay, we're one of the few, and I proudly say this, is we are one of the few that give agents the ability to do this.
Okay.
Right? So, and we spend a lot of our time going through all their sites from the day that they sign up and start getting everything built out. We spend a lot of time going through their sites to make sure that they're set up from the get-go. And this is what gives our agents the upper hand and why we're so confident in our ability and to get them ranked organically within the search engines. And that being said, is when we first start out, it's really important to not only target your primary farming areas, but it's also important to break those down by price points, right? 100 to 200,000, 200 to 300, and those are just some of the basic ones that we primarily focus on out of the gate when we get someone going. We know that the more pages you have, right? And if the IDX is truly integrated and embedded into your website, then every time the MLS is updating, so is your website. But then you got to think about it this way. Each saved search that we create, right, has its own page title, has its own unique URL, has its own title tags, and each listing within that page, every time the MLS updates, so does that page itself. So if I have, let's say, 20 different saved searches, which the more creative you can get, the more that you put in there, the better it is for you, right?
Yeah.
But each one of those pages consistently has content that's moving. So again, when a listing comes, on the market, new listing goes in that page. And so when the search engines are crawling your site, they're looking at not only how many pages you have, but is the content on that page relevant to what your title is, right? And then is the content always staying up to date?
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day,
traffic is key. I mean, that's the biggest thing we've been talking about this whole time.
I mean, it's the title of our series, right?
Yeah.
And it should just be on the forefront of every single agent that is out there. I mean, Nick, without traffic, there's nothing.
There's nothing.
Right?
What are we doing?
I mean, it's the same. We hear agents, 80% of my business is referral leads, or is referrals, my sphere of influence. Yes, but that's traffic. If you have 100 people, that's 100 people that you know. So how do you get in front of 2, 3, 4, 5? How do you get in front of 1,000 people, right? So your network is your net worth.
Okay.
Right? So traffic is key. Marketing is key. I mean, if we were to open up a restaurant, any kind of restaurant that's ever successful, right, if we think about it, Nick, the only way is to have a successful launch is to get who through your door? People. Right?
Yeah.
So we have to market ourselves in a way to funnel people through our doors. And everything in life, everything from a business standpoint, evolves around marketing, evolves around traffic, evolves around exposure.
People.
Evolves around people.
Yeah.
So while there's 100 different things that agents can be doing, traffic is key. Now, I think where a lot of agents start to get frustrated is that most website providers don't really have it in the best interest of the agent, more or less than their own pocket. And so they try to confuse agents with a lot of these different terminologies and try to do workarounds. And while there's a lot of right ways to do things right, not everybody is doing it that way. And so you got to be really cautious. But one of the biggest things is if you're going to be spending money on a website, you want to spend money on a website that is absolutely going to give you an opportunity to grow, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And so let's get into this, which is, the third thing, right? It is just more conversions. Buyers and sellers, right, searching for these long tail key phrases, they know exactly what they want. And this means, Nick, that they also tend to be a lot further along in the actual buying process. Okay. So they've already completed their general search. They're ready to contact an agent. And as a result, these buyers and sellers who arrive on your website as a result of these long tail key searches have a much higher conversion rate than those searching for just general keywords. Okay. So considering that your website, let's say, is the ultimate purpose, or considering your website is the ultimate purpose is to, generate clients for your business, then, targeting these long tail key phrases is super essential in your business. And after all, no matter how high your traffic is, it doesn't translate into revenue unless those visitors convert.
So this goes back to prospects, leads, all that.
Yeah. So look, whether you're just starting out or you're just starting to make, some optimizations, to your real estate marketing site, or you want to build out your existing keyword database, now's the time to take action, and I hear a lot of agents, they're just, I don't have time. But then we also know that 80% of the agents are making 20% of the money, and 20% of the agents are making 80% of the money. Yeah. It's not that they don't have enough time, it's just that they don't know the value behind it, right? It's almost like going to the gym, right? We want to go to the gym because we want to get healthy. But the challenge is we want to see immediate results. And the gym is not an immediate result. It takes time, You start to see your body, transition over 2, 3, 4, 5 months, consistent. It's being consistent through that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So the challenge is just making the time, putting it in now, and understanding that what you do now will determine, what you do later.
Yeah, as we mentioned before, nothing happens overnight.
Yeah, Listen, Nick, 90% of pages on the internet, they're completely invisible to search engines because most people are misinformed about proper keyword research and how, the overall search engine optimization works. Then you also have companies or providers out there that will build a website, talk about long-tail key phrases, but never index or optimize or do any of the SEO work that's needed on the back end. Search engine optimization, again, there's a lot of right ways to do things right.
Yeah.
It's just the way that we do it, in my opinion, is the best way, which is why we're so confident in when we're presenting and when we're talking to these agents is like, look, give us any major city in the U.S. That way, we couldn't plan for this, and yes, while we do get some agents that are like, well, that's for, homes for sale in San Diego between, 800,000 and 900,000. Mm-hmm. That's not what buyer. Listen, we talked about this last time, right? The more fishing poles you have in the water, the better opportunity you have to catch fish.
All 3,000.
So whether it works or whether it doesn't work is irrelevant. Yep. What's relevant is what Google wants, what's current in today's market, and we're becoming more tech savvy. We're not just searching for broad searches anymore.
Yeah.
We're looking for specifics, long tail key phrases. Yeah. So, now I know it sounds like a lot, right? Mm-hmm. And most of these agents out there looking at me going, "What the hell is this guy talking about?" And this is why Agent Elite stands out from the rest.
Yeah. And
this is why thousands of agents choose to partner with us each and every single month as their website and marketing provider. Is we set them all up from the get-go. We try to make this as easiest as possible, but at the same time, we're here to teach and to educate and to motivate, right, on how to expand off of this build and how to create this powerhouse website and marketing, which is extremely important. So, Nick, we're more than just a website provider. Being a website provider in today's market is just not good enough. There's so many real estate coaches out there, right? It's being able to provide agents with more than just a website, but a full understanding in regards to how to market yourself and how to funnel traffic to the website so we can convert that traffic into a lead. So if you're watching this video, give us a call. Let us spend time with you in regards to your marketing. We want to know more about you, about where you're spending your money. What type of return on investment are you getting for, the things that you're doing? And do you have a way to track that? So many times agents, they spread themselves so thin when it comes to their marketing, when it comes to their website, or, they get sold on this and this and this and this and this. And then it's like, damn it.
Yeah.
Take a step back. Find somebody, a company who's been doing this for a long time that is more than just buy this product, but let's figure out more on where you're trying to go, what you're trying to accomplish, where are you spending your marketing dollars, what type of return on investment are you getting on those marketing dollars. But at the end of the day, you don't need 2, 3, 4, 5 websites. Now you're just competing against yourself. You need one website that can do all those things that you're looking for. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so You know, here's the thing, Nick. In order to be successful, traffic is key.
Traffic is key.
Now, I've created just a list of general real estate keywords that I would like you to put together and share to our viewers.
Perfect. Yeah.
And these keywords will just consist of just some general real estate buyer keywords. Keywords that focus on investors or investment property. Real estate seller keywords. And just some basic long tail keywords that will kind of help jumpstart their brain, their process, right? Okay. So I want to encourage you guys to download these keywords, these lists, and just kind of build off of there. But it becomes really fun to be creative and to be able to index and optimize your site for particular key phrases. So if it's important for you, right, to be found for 55 plus communities in San Diego, California, then it's as easy as creating a safe search, right, for 55 plus communities in San Diego, mm-hmm. and then integrating it into the website. And then you have to make sure that the website is set up to index and optimize that particular page for that particular phrase. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Great. This will give agents a really good starting point, and that's all we're really trying to do here. But at the end of the day, too, you got to make sure that your website provider, right, gives you the ability to do that. So if you're not sure, or if you want to see what we do and how we do it, and why so many agents choose to partner with Agent Elite, then definitely give us a call. Allow us to go through and just kind of break down your current site. And again, I always say this, and I stay true to my word. If you have a website that's working and that is doing it properly, we don't care who you're with. We don't care what's going on. It's not about that. It's about the agent being successful. It's about making sure that they have the proper things set up from the get-go that puts them in a position and gives them an opportunity to be more successful. Now, do we want everybody here? Yeah, I'd be lying if I said we didn't. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, we care about the agent, not the overall pocket. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Nick, thank you very much again. I think this is really helpful to a lot of agents. We really appreciate your time today.
Yeah, no problem, Nick. I appreciate you guys, and I love just these series that we're doing. And at the end of the day, we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you guys very much for staying tuned again this week. Nick has been a big help for us. Remember, guys, traffic is key. If you have any questions at all, reach out to us on social media at Agent Elite or at Agent Elite Inc. You can also send us an email at support@agentelite.com or check out our website, agentelite.com. Thank you guys again for watching. Stay tuned for next week.